Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
We are doing well, thank God.
Good. Please excuse my moments of tardiness. I apologize.
It's okay. That's okay.
So, hello, Mr. Green. Hi there. Um, let's first talk. Both of you can answer this question. How does it feel to be on this end of the battle?
It's truly amazing. It's a blessing, a true blessing. It's been a roller coaster ride for the last 3 months,
Hmm.
but thank God. And if you don't mind, I'm sorry, I might get a little emotional,
No,
but
this is definitely something to be emotional about.
yes, it is.
It's something that's impacting so many lives in so many different ways. You have people who are dealing with no symptoms, and you have
Yes.
people who have been hospitalized for months. So, absolutely, emotions are more than
Oh,
understandable.
yes.
Um, how did, where did this all start? Did you just not feel good one day and you thought, let me maybe check it out? Or were you just concerned that maybe you had been exposed, or did you feel bad?
I had a headache. That was it. And um,
Well, I'm gonna maybe speak for him a little bit. Um, we're not really sure exactly where he picked this up from, but he started complaining a little bit about a headache, didn't have much of an appetite, and we didn't really think much about it because he's never been a complainer. But my son started complaining about a headache as well, and we're thinking, well, it's the pollen is very heavy outside. We're thinking, well, maybe it's just sinus headaches. But it wasn't until we decided to go about a week later or so to urgent care, and we were fine. I had lost the sense of taste and smell. My son's throat was hurting, and he still complained about a headache and was not much of an appetite. So we decided to go to urgent care. And by the time we did go, my son and I were okay. My sense of smell and taste was gone. His throat was still hurting, but my husband was somewhat lethargic. When they tested him for the flu, it was negative, but he had a temp and they did a chest x-ray, right?
my blood pressure was 80 over 40.
Yeah, very low blood pressure. And so they decided to take a chest x-ray, and we found out that he had what they said the beginning of pneumonia. And that's where it all started.
So you're in the hospital for 90 days
No, rehab.
alone,
Mhm.
and you went to rehab.
Yes.
So once you were hospitalized, were you in pain? Like, what did your body feel like?
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
No.
You have
Um,
no recollection of what you went through this. Wow.
No,
Once he was there, Marcel, a few days after he had been admitted, I got a phone call that they needed to move him to ICU to look at him a little more closely, to watch him more closely. And the next morning, I got a call from the doctors saying that they needed to intubate him. Um, it was just crazy. It was just wild, when they were calling me early that Sunday morning, March 29th, and I just did not know what to think. It was just crazy. But I hadn't talked to him since March 28th, I believe, before you went into ICU. And it's been since, I think, April 25th, I believe, was when he had a trach. And yeah, he was in a medically induced coma all that time from March 29th until April 25th, I believe, close to maybe around that time. But when he started coming out of all of this, one of the ICU nurses called me and said, Mr. Green wants to talk to you. He's asking for you. And that was just it's okay. That was just music to my ears. We are so grateful to God because we have been praying. We've been praying We've had prayer lines going. And if it wasn't for my faith and the support system of family and friends, I don't know what we would have done. But we are so grateful to God.
Talk
So
on that phone, in that phone call? Or could you talk, Mrs. Green and Mr. Green, you just listened? Like, could you exchange in that call?
Well, they were able to provide an iPad
Okay.
so that we could FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
And no, he couldn't talk because he had the trach, and he was coming out of the coma, and it was just so.
They could read
Oh
my
God.
lips.
Yeah, they were reading lips.
Where's my mic?
We wives don't miss much. We know how to read y'all's lips.
Yeah, but it was such a blessing. Such a blessing.
So tell me, let's fast forward to the day or the week you find out that you're able to come home, that you have crossed over the hurdles and gotten through it all. How did that feel?
I could see no place like home.
No place like home.
I couldn't wait to go home. I
What-
walked in here.
Oh,
I lost it.
Mhm.
oh
The
my
place
God.
you live and your family comes in, home is a
Yeah.
place of peace, and you were back
Yeah.
in your place of peace.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I saw that there was quite a party for your arrival back home. I think everybody in the town and neighboring towns turned out to welcome you back.
It was our church family. We have some awesome church members who've been praying for all of us, and they wanted to welcome him home, with a parade. It was so touching, so touching. My husband is a guitar player in church, and he wanted to stand up, and he wanted his guitar on him. He's been so motivated and so driven. It's nothing but God. That's all I can say, but God.
So
And
what's the road to recovery now? Like, you're home.
right.
What are the next steps?
Physical rehab.
Uh-huh.
Because I laid in the bed for so long, I lost muscle and I can't walk. But the rehab, they did 2.5 weeks. I can now walk with a walker. Pretty soon I won't need that walker.
You hear him, huh?
There you go. Determination, I tell you. There's nothing like it. That, the mind is just as powerful as the muscles
Yes, it is.
oftentimes when you're dealing
Yes,
with
it
things
is.
like this.
Oh,
So
yeah.
people think of COVID and they think of just something that affects your lungs, but this has affected your entire body.
Yes.
Yes, it affected my lung collapsed.
Mhm.
Heart was racing. I'm a kidney transplant patient. Had a kidney transplant 12 years. My kidney stopped working,
Mhm.
but they did dialysis and it started again. So here I am.
That's right. He's
Here
coming
you
back.
are. There's some people who think that COVID is a farce and it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. And I won't get sick, I'll be fine. And there's some naysayers about wearing masks and so many other things that are potential elements of prevention, to say the least. What do you, both of you, and this is to both of you, what do you say as the patient and the caregiver or the loved one? What do you say to someone who blows this off as no big deal?
Oh,
I think my family members have to see me go through this.
Yeah.
They say they're very cautious now.
Yes.
They wear their masks everywhere.
Yes.
They all have, all of them.
This is nothing to play with. Nothing to play with.
They know it now.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that we learn a lesson sometime when it directly impacts us.
Exactly.
And we don't look at numbers and cases and in this situation and think, oh, maybe me. I know we all want to believe we're invincible, but
Yes.
this has proven to be something that really knows no age, race, creed. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yes. It doesn't matter at all. But we are real grateful. We are
I'm
so,
just happy to be alive.
yes, yes.
Happy to be
We're
alive.
pretty much homebodies. We don't really, go a lot of places, but
Grocery store.
grocery stores.
In church.
Yeah. There you go. But this is so serious, and it bothers me to see so many people out there walking around without their masks. It just bothers me, and I wouldn't wish this on anyone. This is just, it's been.
My last question to the both of you, you were apart for a very long time. How has this changed your relationship? We say for better or for worse, in sickness and in health. How has this changed your relationship as a married couple?
We have been married for 30 years, and I think we are closer now than we have ever been. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Indeed, it does. We've never been separated this long.
Best wife in the world.
But God.
You do. You have a pretty doggone good wife there, sir.
Thank you.
But she's a lucky lady too, I can tell.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Well, look, I know that it's kind of strange for the news station to want to talk to you after you've dealt with something that has changed your life. And you're now on the bright side of it. And we've talked to so many people, and they haven't wanted to talk about what they experienced. And some have, and a lot of those people are those who haven't dealt with the severity that you have in this. So I just want to say thank you for being open.
Thank you.
I think hearing from you all will directly affect some people. We say all the time that we're storytellers, but it's really people who tell the story. We just give the information.
Right.
So hearing you talk about this ordeal, if it changes one person and they put on a mask the next time they step out of their house,
Amen.
it's worth it. So thank you so much. All the best to you. I pray that recovery is well. Feel free to send me an email or a Facebook message and just let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear
so much. We appreciate you. Thank you.
All righty. Miss Brenda passed along your number, so I'll be checking with her too to see how you're doing.
Okay.
All righty, y'all. Take care. God bless you. Thank you again.